I guess one thing you have to deal, I guess, in what we already do know in that regard. And two things. One, I think I can see just sitting from my couch here in Los Angeles, and the other, I'd love to get some insight from you. One is Durant looks Durant. I mean, right? Like we don't have many questions here, right? That he's the guy that he's all the bill of goods that the Nets wanted him to be when they got him with his Achilles and everything, right?
Yeah. And from a play-by-play man standpoint, you know the guy is coming. You wait a year for him to put the uniform on. The anticipation builds and builds and builds, and you think to yourself, well, there's no way he can live up to it, right? There's just no way. He's coming off injury. It's going to take a little time. It's 8 straight games of 25 or more points. He's already tied a franchise record held by the great Bernard King, who's not ever thought of as a member of the Nets,
right,
because he did most of his damage as a Knick. Durant is going to be breaking many records, a multitude of records for this Nets team, and he's done everything that they've asked him to do, and he's done even more.
And now, I guess the question would be about Nash, if he's ready for all of this, where Kyrie is the big unknown. We're assuming Harden will just be Harden once he gets into game shape, and he's in a spot where he's clearly happy to be.
Yep.
And then put it all together with who's still left. I mean, Karis LeVert was dynamic. He was terrific. So I guess walk me through Nash's readiness for a very 4-dimensional gig coaching for the Nets here.
Yeah, I would think, Rich, the only other option at head coach right now would be Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Nice.
That's what we're thinking, that it's going to require some deep, deep thought to make sure everything is in line, to juggle the personalities involved. Everything that I've heard up until this point, Sean Marks just addressed the media, was that the guys are all in. They've all said the right things. We want to win. That's what you needed to hear, not about individual accolades. Kevin Durant, he wants to win. He wants to win a championship with his team. James Harden, there is nobody in the NBA that wants to win more than him. His resume is not complete because he doesn't have the championship. Kyrie does. Durant does. This is the motivation for James Harden. And then the Kyrie part of it, I think really what it boils down to is the communication and the fact that there wasn't any. If someone is dealing with something, I think in this day and age, we all recognize you got to go deal with it in the way you have to deal with it, and there's a respect level there. But if you don't communicate to the people within the organization of what's going on, that's where the distraction occurs, and that's where the mystery unfolds, and it creates so much more to this story than there needed to be if it was dealt with correctly right away.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.